Welcome back to Let's Play Shin Megami Tensei Digital Devil Saga. Last time we made it to our first stopping point in the Karma Temple and decided to duck out because we've got side content to take care of. Our first order of business is going to be heading over to Anahata. Now, the content that we're about to get to is not the only bonus content left to do in the game. However, to unlock the rest of it, we need to get to the very top of the Karma Temple, so still a bit of a ways to go before we can do that, but we're set to do the stuff that's available right now with the skills we have, so I just want to get to that, and definitely I want to get to it now so that I'm not too over-leveled one way or the other and keep these things interesting. So, like I said, first order of business to Anahata. I'll throw up an Astoma spray, and we're going to make a quick stop by the vendor. Now, there are a couple of skills that I still want to get mastered before getting onto the bosses that we're going to be fighting in this video. Not necessarily for the bosses, but for the upcoming area after this one, you absolutely want to have everybody in your active party have the King mantra that you get from King Frost mastered, and have Cocytus set, because that'll be very important for the next side dungeon that we get to. It's not so important for this upcoming dungeon. One thing that we will want set, which I already have on everybody, is Resist Fizz, for a very particular reason. Now, I've liquidated all our cells, so in the vendor we have the Revival Orb, and we have the Megiddo Fire, and the Dead End. The Dead End is the final unlockable ammunition from the vendor. It is slightly weaker than the next best ammunition, but it has a chance of petrifying the enemy. I don't really care for it though, and it's too expensive to be worth it. What is more worth it to look at is the Revival Orb, which as you can see costs you a pretty hefty 600,000, so we're gonna wait on getting that. But what I am actually going to buy is the Megiddo Fire. Megiddo Fire is an infinite use attack item that, well, lets you use Megiddo. So once you have this, there's no reason to have the Megiddo skill set anymore, and we're going to take that off of Surf. Which, in fact, since I was mentioning it, we will... Oh, well, I already have Resist Fizz set. Never mind. What do I want on him in place of that? I guess I can throw Pterodyne on there for a little bit of coverage. One skill that we're going to want for the upcoming boss, well, two skills. You're either going to want Zeodyne or Bufudyne, and of course their corresponding boosting skills, because the boss coming up nullifies pretty much everything else. Let's see. Yes, we're going to want to set Fire Resist on Surf. I'm going to set some of these skills ahead of time, and we'll want Fizz Resist on Gale. We're not going to use Power Charge in the upcoming area. And ditto for Cielo. I'll keep Null Death on him, just because I want at least one character who nullifies that at all time. But Fizz Resist, we will take away Rakukaja. We won't need it for the upcoming boss fight for a very particular reason. And now that we're in Anahata itself, we actually want to take a teleport real quick. And we want to head to the Citadel 2. This is the large Karma terminal that was on the other side of the elevator, if you may remember way back when we got attacked by all those Ikusas and, I think it was a Turdak? Or was it a bunch of Turdaks and an Ikusa? Well, whatever. The room that we want is the one coming up at this intersection right here. Turn left. I told you long ago that this room would be important later, and that is because upon clearing Ajna, an entry to a waterway opens up. So yes, we are in the other portion of the Samsara Tunnels, and you know what? I realized that I just forgot to buy a bunch of Astoma sprays. Oh well, that is not the end of the world. And as a matter of fact, do want to set Fire Resist on the Surf. We don't need the extra damage that Fire Boost brings for any of the enemies here, so we'll swap that out for Fire Resist. But yeah, we definitely want to resist our elemental weaknesses for the upcoming fight. Again, this will all become apparent when I get to it. The other skill that I wanted for this fight is Null Mutes. Now, Cielo and Gale are currently working on getting King mastered so they have access to Cocytus. The thing that I want to do after Cielo masters King is I want to set him on Bolt Master, and I'm just swinging the terminal here to get it unlocked, so that he has access to Zeodyne. Now, it's very possible that I won't have these skills mastered before we actually get to the point where I would want to have them, but that's a... Well, at the very least, it's very likely that I won't be able to get Zeodyne before I get to the point where I want to have it, but that's not a big deal. Speaking of that... Okay, yeah, my team's set up how I want it. Oh, cutting to the end of this encounter, This is the very nasty reinforcement that you can run into, and this is why I want Fizz Resist set on everybody for the entire dungeon. 2 Samaels, I mentioned this in the Karma Temple, but this is probably one of the nastiest reinforcement sets in the game. So yeah, definitely do not sleep on these guys. Absolutely have things like Debilitate on hand to weaken them. You want Fizz Resist, because you see, even resisting that, Fizz Resist halves incoming Fizz damage. That's still what they managed to do, even when we resist it. Fortunately, with the setup that we got, we should be fine here. Revelation, getting the mute on Cielo is a little annoying, but we can manage. We'll just dismute him here. Fizz Repel is unfortunate, but we can just nail these guys with Megiddo Fires instead. And yeah, the nice thing of having Debilitate up and going is that we have a good chance of dodging their physical attacks. So yeah, let's just start tossing out that Megiddo Fire. It's an infinite use item, so go nuts. And yeah, it's pretty nice to have, so I don't need Megiddo clogging up my skill lists anymore. We'll just use that while they repel physical attacks. And of course, this gets around their magic repel also. And throw out another Debilitate there. Get some more dodge chance going, and get their damage down to more manageable levels. Alright, at this point, I'm just going to start throwing out Megiddo Fires until they're dead. Not even gonna bother transforming back. And here's the really nice thing about Megiddo Fire. Like any attack item, you can still use it in human form. So honestly, at this point, most ambushes are not a threat to us with the Megiddo Fire. We can just transform, or we can just stay human, toss out this item, win the encounter super easy like that. I love having this item on hand, and that's why I was willing to drop the 300k on it. Yeah, this guy's got nothing going. Vanity's a little annoying. It is nice that Cielo was able to dodge that attack even while panicked. But yeah, this fight, very annoying. And as I've shown, the Samaels give really piddly EXP and money, so it's probably not even worth it for me to go through all this effort. But I just want to show it off. It's like, it's not the end of the world, especially if you're prepared for it. And hey, we got some AP there, so good enough. You may have noticed that Surf is working on Death Spirit. I actually had Cielo on Death Spirit also, but I realized that he didn't have a Tier 3 Elemental spell that would actually affect the upcoming boss. So I decided to switch him over to work on King first, and well, also I need Cossidus, so I switched him over to King, and I want to switch him over to Boltmaster, and then I'll switch him back to Death Spirit. But yeah, here we got some more colored walls. Take this yellow wall first. You notice from the other side there was a red wall over there also. We'll get to that in a bit. Let's see. Actually, we'll get to that right now. I forget which one takes us the way that we want to go. Perhaps I should have researched that better before starting this video, but oh well. I got the important things, like what fights to watch out for. But yeah, honestly, I'm just fighting the Samaels for the principle of it. If you are playing this on your own, it may very well just be worth it to set Quick Escape and just run from those fights.
Okay, you asked for it.
Actually, you know what? We've never actually seen these enemies. Black Ooze. You could run into these guys in coordinates 136. I just never did. Which is weird, because I ran into them all the time. Oh, I did not know that they drained ice. I'm mixing them up with another enemy. Hey, Cielo's still got Null Death set. And yeah, Null Death is a pretty good passive to have. It gives you immunity to petrification and gives you immunity to instant death, obviously. It just covers your bases on a lot of the things. A lot of enemies also like to use Blood Curse, and it just gets rid of the threat from that. Just a very great passive to have on at least one person. Prevents some very unfortunate game over situations, like, say, Shatayu decides to use it on you. But yeah, those are actually weak enemies. And hey, more Samaels. I'm going to cut the encounter here. Man, those things take forever to kill. Does not help that I'm not getting particularly lucky in these encounters either. Oh well, that's what I get for just trying to fight these things. Oh well. At least it keeps the game more entertaining than it would be otherwise. Gale has mastered the King mantra, so I'll want to get him onto something else. As a matter of fact, let me switch his and Cielo's spot. Put a Surf there, Cielo, and The only thing I currently need until we get to the boss fight is Debilitate, so let's get that up to the front. This up here, and we'll get some hunting abilities in. Get in Iron Stomach, AP Divide, and we will throw on, let's see. Yeah, we'll, no, I should go with Consume since I can't guarantee Devil's Feast. And, yeah, he won't be using Agudine at all at the moment, so may as well just have him run a otherwise strictly support set. Yeah, it's at this point in the game where you want so many different skills that suddenly it just seems like 8 is nowhere near the amount that you need. But we're gonna manage. As long as Surf can still get good damage in, we should be fine. Alright, so... looks like, actually, I forget if that's the way we need to go or not. We'll find out. I can just check this all out when we come back afterwards. Hey, look at these guys. It's on DOP. Mahamon is actually potentially very dangerous. Last word. Oof. Big damage. Okay. Let's see here. We'll definitely want to get Surf untransformed so that he can nail these guys with his gun. We'll have Gale throw out Megiddo Fire since that's the best he can do for right now. Yeah, as you can see, these guys are pretty tough. I think we can take them though. It is a bit unfortunate that they got the first go, but that's how it goes sometimes. Alright, and at this point I'm just gonna have Surf start blasting these guys, and Gale and Cielo will just stick to throwing out Megiddo Fire, and that should take this fight down in relatively short order. As you can see, these guys, Angioki is typically a physically focused demon, but these, in this game, they're actually rather magical. They have a pretty potent magic stat to resist Megiddo that much. Nice. Should be able to take these guys down with little difficulty. It would be nicer if we saw these guys before I had already encountered them in the Karma Temple, but can't get everything. Alright. Ooh, that's actually pretty lucky. Just consume that guy. And you know what, let's go back to Surf's turn. Let's see if he gets another fear on. Yes! Alright! Well, this is paying off immensely. Very nice. And we get a power noise for our efforts. Alright, good stuff. No points for guessing who that's gonna go to. Oh, Gale, I got something for you. There we go. Alright. Now, I actually do think this is the way to go, and that one on the other side is a treasure, but we can just swing back for that on the way out. Not in any big hurry. Okay, here. Let's just get this mantra set. Let's see. We'll just have him work on something cheap. I would like to have Heat work on more physical stuff, but again, it's just a casualty of finance. Let's see, Gale. What I want Gale to work on going forward is I want him to get Godly Beast mastered so that he can get this mantra unlocked. But that is a little bit outside of our budget at the moment, so we'll just have him also work on something cheap. Cielo, on the other hand, we're actually going to have him work on something in particular. Of course, we're going to have him work on Bolt Master. Hopefully I can get this mastered before we get to the boss fight. If not, it's not the end of the world. I planned on having Cielo mostly run support in that fight anyway, so if he's not able to attack, it's no big deal. Now, heading this way, you may recognize the bit of fog going here. I guess more steam, or perhaps just thick water vapor. But we've got to equip the oxygen tank for the third time throughout the game, because we've got another water maze puzzle. Now, once again, I've got the instructions written down here. This one's a bit interesting. There is not a valve to turn. Alright, at this one, we want to go west. That would be the east way. We want to take west. And then we want to take 2 south. Now, we'll quickly run into... Oh, wait, I screwed this up already, I think. Yeah, I went east. That's okay, though. I just gotta wrap my way around to the correct way. Yeah, sorry, it's very easy to lose track of which direction you're supposed to go. The camera doesn't exactly orient itself in the best way possible. But, as always, or, well, not as always, but this is another full cycle water pump maze. So once it goes all the way back to max, we will be thrown out of here. I'm just trying to find a way back to the entrance. This is embarrassing. Yeah, well. I've had very few comedy of errors throughout this Let's Play so far, and yes, you can still get attacked by Samaels down here. Very nice. Alright, we're actually gonna need to use a Soma drop on Cielo there, and we'll just have Surf top off her HP. Alright. Just, this is so embarrassing, because I know full well that if you take a wrong route here, you're just not going to get to where you want to go. So yeah, we're just gonna kind of be floundering here. You know, after fighting a bunch of neat ogres, I've kind of noticed that they seem to take slightly extra damage from everything except hunt skills. That's just interesting to note for me. And oof. Yeah, we're probably gonna get whisked away by the pump here, but I haven't actually done that at this point in this LP, so hey, I'm just showing it off, okay? Yeah, well, let's go with that. Probably looping back in on myself, but anyways, this is a good demonstration for yeah, I just looped around. This is a good demonstration for the gimmick of this one. It doesn't have a valve for you to turn or anything, it's just got a bunch of long corridors that it sends you along. And there's a very specific route that you have to take through here. Alright, but let's get whisked away. And here comes the water surge. Okay, let's do that correctly this time. I'll actually make a note to check my map more thoroughly. I feel so embarrassed there. It's all a relative positioning thing. You know, I gotta go south, but I actually turn east, so... But yeah, as you can see, I was a little confused about which way I wanted to go. I ended up going east, but we want to go west. After we go the correct direction, we want to take a couple souths. Which again, always pay attention to the correct orientation. Okay, this next one, we want to go east. And it does actually look like I hit this one, but I don't know if I had enough moves to actually make it. Okay. That's weird. Well, let's go on. I think maybe I was on the correct route and I was just second guessing myself. Yeah, I guess we'll find out here. Alright, so gotta go east. North. Wow, I think I actually oh wow, that's even more embarrassing. It looks like I was on the correct route, but I defeated myself before I gave myself a try. Ah, boy, this is a bit of a disaster. Oh well, we're gonna make it to where we need to be. Alrighty. Oh, hey, Omoikane! This is not exactly a great way to encounter this guy. Oh, that actually makes it kind of unfortunate that we don't have Dekunda. Oh well, I'm probably not going to kill this guy anyway, just because he's a bit too tough. I guess I can do Debilitate and just see what happens. If I get a crit, I might actually just kill him. Oh, close, but no cigar. That would have actually been really nice, because you get a really good amount of money for defeating him at this point. Okay, so at this point, we want to start going west. Alright, and west again. And then west just one more time, and that is the end. Ugh, boy. Apologies if this section was very annoying for you. Believe me, I did not mean to make such a big mess of that. Oh well. But hey, we're on the other side. Now, what awaits us? Aside from more encounters and more Samaels, well, we're just about to see. Alright, now if we angle the camera around, whoa, that is a big and multi-headed snake. Well, that is the boss for this area. That is Orochi. So we're gonna have to set ourselves up to fight him. Now, as always, we want to make sure everybody's working on mantras just so they get some AP out of the deal. Kind of running up on money here, but I still got stuff to work on. These are really cheap and weak ones, so they'll probably max out immediately. Okay, and Gale. Actually, yeah, I'll spring and get him Godly Bees. I actually want to bring attention to 2 skills on this one. Insatiable. This is a multi-target hunt skill that is basically Devour, but it hits multiple enemies. Very weak, but with Power Charge and some buffs, you can kill certain encounters in a single hit with it. And when you get enough strength, then eventually the Power Charge alone will suffice. The other skill is Atma Bonus. When a character has Atma Bonus equipped, if they are in the active party, the AP they get will be increased by 50%. They have to be in the active party for that to work, and it only applies to them. But yeah, I want Gale to master that. Not so much for the skill itself, but it's a part of unlocking better mantras. Alright, now I'm going to make another save here. And Cielo just barely doesn't have a Bolt Master set, so not going to be able to get him to work that in the fight, but I mostly plan to have him on support anyway. So I'm just going to cut ahead to when I have my skill sets lined up for this, so see you in a second. Alright, all set up with what we need for this fight, so let's get into it. Just gotta walk in front of him, and he will be like, "Hey, I want to eat you." It's so different from all the other bosses that we've run into in this game. Well, you know, I don't really feel like this is good fortune. But hey, everybody's got different definitions. Now, for this guy, absolutely do not use Debilitate or throw out any buffs to start. You do not want to do that. What we're gonna do is, I'll just show off Cossidus. No, that was pretty lame. But this guy, only vulnerable to Ice, Elec, and what was it? Almighty. Almighty works on everything. But yeah, everything else he nullifies, so you want those 2 kinds of skills. Now, what this guy can do, and this is why I wanted Elemental Resist, as you can see, he can throw out every elemental spell in the game, and if he hits your weaknesses, well, he's got 7 press turns to work with. So yeah, he can go pretty frequently. But we have something working in our favor here that will come up momentarily, or at the very least in the near future. Aside from that, he likes to use physical attack. Probably the most dangerous thing he can do, and this is why I really wanted to have Resist Fizz on everybody, is that instead of wasting time just casting elemental spells, he can use the skill Mad Rush to just hit your party with physical attacks, and he'll use all of his actions to do that. I'm not exactly sure... Oh, I think he actually has 8 turns. Let's see. Yeah, he has 8. Well, there's another boss who has 7. That's the one that I was thinking of. But yeah, so we're just gonna let him pelt us with his magic. Oh, like I said, do not bother with buffing or debuffing. That's actually a really bad idea for reasons that I'll explain once we get to the other main gimmick for this fight. And like I said, we're just gonna let this guy pelt us with magic. Surf is so resistant to magic at this point that even if Gale or Cielo get killed, I'm not too worried about it. Surf is right on hand just to toss a revive gem at them and get them back in the fight. Here comes Mad Rush. Now, if you did not have Fizz Resist set, this could absolutely decimate your party, because those attacks are weak, but they add up, and not having the 50% damage reduction, I've had full team wipes when I've come close to having full team wipes, even when I've had characters, just one character set with it, so after that I was like, yeah, I definitely want it on all my party members for this fight. But yeah, Cielo, his damage isn't worth much, so we're just gonna have him focus on healing. Looks like this guy's going into Mad Rush, for the most part. Well, since he's doing this, you know what, just for fun, I'll actually show off why you shouldn't, bother with buffing or debuffing in this fight. Alright, so, you absolutely do want to use a buff and a debuff, for reasons that'll become apparent on this next turn. Let's heal up. And we're going to have Gale pass, and we're going to have Cielo use Makakaja. Not for any particular reason, but I do want to have a buff and debuff in place. Now, if you buff and debuff... Oh, that's weird. I thought he always did that. Well, we're in uncharted territory. Is he already out of MP? Well, this fight's kind of going off the rails. The gimmick of this fight is that this guy has very little MP, but, well, I may as well roll with this and just take advantage of it. Let's start wailing on him. If he wants to do this the easy way for me. Yeah, every time I try to show something off, it just doesn't go the way I want it to. Okay, he's got to be out of MP at this point, and that's why he's using Mad Rush. Okay, the intended gimmick of this fight is that if you buff or debuff at all, he'll use Deikaja and Dekunda, then he will Makakaja himself 4 times, then he will cast Megidolaun 2 times, and the catch to that is that he has very low MP, and I'm not sure that he's out. So once he runs out of MP, he'll then switch to using MP Thief to drain from your parties, or your party members. And that is why I had Null Mute set on everyone, because MP Thief is a mute type skill in this game. So if he's trying to drain your MP, it'll just nullify and give you a good advantage in this fight. But he seems to have already completely drained his MP, so the only thing he can do is Mad Rush. Yeah, whatever. Makes this fight much easier than it would have been otherwise. Man, though, I was hoping to show off the interesting parts of this fight, but he's just letting us wail on him. Probably have CL use another debilitate here, just in case it goes on for another turn, although I sincerely doubt it will. Well, this is one way to handle the fight. It works out. Actually, you know what the heck, let's just have CLO go all in on the offense, too. Cocytus, it's a random hit skill. It can hit 1 to 3 times, and if it doesn't hit all the enemies in the party, it has very high chances of doing so, at least. And there we go. So, pretty good rewards for that fight. Another Soma for the Soma pile. CLO gets Zeodyne after it would have been useful to us. Okay, Surf, he's doing his standard level here. And before we go on, I actually do just, at the very least, set some skills onto Surf. I want Fire back onto him. Yeah, we want to get rid of Null Mute. Get Pterodyne going. Just want these skills on him just in case we get into any more encounters, which is a very distinct possibility. And we want to get Fire Amp onto him. Yeah, I really wish there was a better organizational system for all these skills. It gets pretty cluttered by the end of the game. And honestly, we'll just stick with that for now, since we don't have too much of the dungeon left. First off, well actually no, that door, as you can see from the distance, is busted, so we're not going to take that. Let's see, I just want to keep an eye on our path here, and I want to throw down our last Stoma Spray. Made a bit of a boneheaded move at the start of this video and forgot to buy a spare, or spares, but whatever. This will at least make sure we don't get into any chaff encounters, so if I do get ambushed, or rather get Samael reinforcements, at least it's worth my while to fight them. Alright, got the cell there, so let's head up on this ladder. Now where does this ladder take us? Well, at the top of this ladder, we find ourselves back in Ajna, specifically B5, area in Ajna that we have not been able to go to. So we just want to take a quick look around here, but it doesn't look like there's much. So we're just gonna head straight for the way on up. And yeah, this is a section of Ajna that we were not able to reach before. Heading up the stairs here. And you have to go up quite a bit. The end point for this is actually 3F, so again, that's actually another section of Ajna that we didn't reach that we're getting to. Okay, up to B2. And of course, after B2 comes B1, if you are able to count backwards. I don't mean to be patronizing, I am absolutely just trying to pad out the conversation here. Believe me, this is not my idea of a good time either. I got invited by some friends to play Guilty Gear Strive, and I would like to get to that rather than just go around these random areas that have nothing in them. Except that on the last floor, which we're about to get to, there are 2 things of note for us. Well, actually 3 things. Now, on this 3F for Ajna, there is one type of enemy that you can encounter in this hallway here. That is Horus. Horus is a special enemy. He's vulnerable to instant death, as in death spells. And if you kill him, he has a chance of dropping a magic noise. And they are the only thing that spawn on this floor, and they have a high chance of coming in as reinforcements too. So you can just spam Mudon and kill them constantly and potentially get a bunch of magic noises. Now at the end of this hallway, find a dead woman. Well, time to loot her corpse. And we get a red ring for, Oh hey, actually we're gonna see him right now. You can encounter this guy or in the Karma Temple rather, but it's a very rare encounter. Now, an item that we got that I actually did not bring attention to is the Al-Azif. We got this after beating Beelzebub. This casts Mamudo infinitely. Not very good, but in this case, we have a decent odds of it sticking. I don't really like Mamudo too much because it just has such low odds, but it works well enough against stuff that's weak to it. Didn't get a magic noise there, but can't get everything. Surf is looking much more well-rounded compared to how he was when I was just focusing purely on his magic. But it's paid off immensely because he is quite the powerhouse, and he's not too weak in any area. Alright, and a layer cell. Okay, so got a couple things to do. Well, okay, one thing left to do in the waterways. We gotta get that treasure, or that layer, or that ammo node, or rather that doorway that was on the other side of the yellow wall that I skipped over. So I'll meet you there, and then we'll cut away from that and go to the Manipura waterways. So yeah, just cut ahead a bit. Alright, here we are on the other side of the channel. I beg that you forgive my poor diction. I am very out of it by the end of the work week. Alright, heading through this foggy section. Just gotta get to the end here. I know what it looks like. There is not a pump maze waiting for us at the end of this, thankfully. Just after we go that long way, come out behind a waterfall. Just check over here. Do not think... Yeah, just a smash door this way. Haha, did somebody say Samael? We're almost done, we're almost done. I'm saying that more for my own sake than the viewers, since obviously I've been cutting those out for quite a while. But, as I was saying, on this side, we get, well, inside this node, get a great chakra. One more for me to not use. 2 magic noises. I'll give those to Cielo to make him slightly more effective at his job. And a logic cell. Very nice. But yeah, let's throw those on to Cielo real quick, just so I don't forget. More MP for him also. And let's get back over to the tunnels. Now, the next order of business, we've got to head to Manipura, so I will meet you there. Alright, after that endeavor, we are back in Manipura. Let's just go talk to the locals around here, see what's going on. What do you got to say, friend? Ha ha ha. Can you tell this game was made in the mid-2000s? Or at least was localized in the mid-2000s? Yeah, that's one that one of my old friends really liked. Anyway, let's enter to this side entrance that we've never had any reason to go into, but we do now, because once you clear Ajna, and once you also clear the Beelzebub fight in Svadhisthana, something new opens up over here. Once again, it is an access to the Samsara Tunnels. I'm sure you are just thrilled at the idea that we have to go through there again. Now, you can come here at any time and grab that revival gem, but until we fulfill those 2 requirements, this is otherwise a dead end. Now, though, we have access to it, and we can get to another boss fight. And this one coming up is one of the tougher ones in the game, but the rewards for it cannot be overstated. You get some really good stuff for doing this one. And I hope to show that off before this playthrough is over. I will tell you up front, there are some skills that take absurd amounts of grinding, and I just have played this game so many times at this point. I've already grinded them out on a different file, that I probably am unlikely to do it in this particular file, though I may actually show it off in the other one. And once again, just going in here to get the large terminal set. I'm actually not sure if you need to do that, but hey, better safe than sorry. Now, there's a variety of enemies that we can encounter here. I've got an Astoma spray going to get rid of the chaff ones, because as always, there are a few of those. Now, there is a lot we can do in here, but I think what I'm going to focus on, and yeah, you can go that way, wrap around through here. The way we want to go for the time being, I believe, is this way up this ladder. Now, going up here, I want to make a special mention of this hallway, and as a matter of fact, there's a certain skill that I want to set on everybody before we go forward. This is the area that we've learned Cocytus for. A special reinforcement that can come up in this area is Arahabaki. You will encounter 2 of them, and Arahabaki nullifies everything except Ice, Almighty, and Expel, and it's weak to Ice. Now, it is also very susceptible to being frozen by Cocytus, which is something that we actually really want if we do run into them, because otherwise they're very tough. They've got several thousand hit points. Now, this hallway here, also this is a good example of how useful Megiddo Fire can be. In this hallway, the only thing you will encounter is 3 Titanias with the occasional Arahabaki backup. This is, hands down, the best grinding spot in the game. The Titanias give good EXP, good money, and very good AP if you devour them. So when you're looking to max out your levels and your mantras, this is the area to do it. This is all you run into, and occasionally you get to fight Arahabakis on top of it. Alright, so speaking of that, it would actually be rather undesirable if we ran into some right here, because, well, we're all human right now, and the Arahabakis have a pretty good chance of absolutely slaughtering us in this state. Thankfully, we did not run into them. Additionally, on top of the raw money that the Titanias give you, they also have a high chance of dropping theory cells. So that's just tons of good money to be made there. And yeah, if you are looking to do a lot of grinding, this is easily the area to do it. Just buy up a whole bunch of magic reeds, run back and forth, and just let the Titanias come to you. You will get so much money, so much EXP, so much AP, and it's relatively close to a terminal, so you can double back there to change your mantras out pretty frequently. Now over on this side, we've got some notes to collect, as always. Got a Soma out of this one. Now, a lot of the enemies you can counter here, they are ones that, hey, luck noises. As always, we'll be giving those to Gale since he needs them the most. A lot of the enemies you can encounter here are the ones that you'll encounter about the midpoint of the Karma Temple. In particular, Loximes can appear here pretty often, so you definitely want to have Null Nerf set on at least one of your characters. And honestly, to be safer than sorry, you probably want it on multiple, but I play a little risky like that. Keeps things interesting for me, and also means I do not have to retool my skill sets too often, which is the more important thing. Yeah, I'm pretty lazy when it comes to that, I'll fully admit. It's pretty cumbersome to do in this game, and if this game ever does get a remaster, I'd absolutely love to see them streamline it and maybe even make it so that you can, you know, set multiple sets of things or different skill sets that you can just call up. Basically just skill sets that you can save and call them up whenever you want. Kind of like, I don't know, squads in Etrian Odyssey or something. More ammo nodes, and once again the game decides to troll me. It's been a while since it's done that, though. Heat and Argilla, unfortunately, will not get to enjoy the healing. Now, what's in this one? Hey, new enemy here. Let's use the spyglass on these, because I actually do not remember how they stack up compared to the other things they can fight, or what they're weak to. Alright, they aren't weak to anything, actually. It's a good thing I checked that they nullify fire. So what we'll do is we'll just have Surf use Megiddo Fire, Gale will do a Ki Blast. Should do pretty good damage to these guys. Or Gals, perhaps? Nice. His criticals there are pretty lucky. Hey! I think that's the first time we actually got to see Cielo's critical animation. Pretty cool one that he's got. Yeah, I haven't set my mantras yet, just because I haven't had a chance to liquidate myself. Shikiojis, if you remember, these guys are weak to fire. They are not giving us that. But we can also just, same deal, Megiddo Fire them, then have Gale launch a Ki Blast, and that should take care of it. I'm so unused to Shikiojis being vulnerable to physical attacks, or at the very least, susceptible to being hit by them. Typically, Shikiojis are one of the de facto, this demon nullifies physical. They're pretty much always like that in the Persona series. Yeah, Key Blast should definitely finish these guys off. There we go. Now what do we get for our efforts in killing those guys? Another great chakra. Hooray. I swear I'll use one of those before this playthrough is over. Now, like I said, there are a few chaff encounters we can get into. I think there's Ame no Uzumes, which you could run into in Coordinate 136, or maybe I'm misremembering that. I feel like it is, though. One that you can definitely run into is a bunch of Lilims and Succubi. Yeah, those have long since ceased to be threatening, so I don't really relish the idea of just having to mulch through them for basically no reward. Alright, this way leads to a node. I was about to say it was a dead end and the game trolled me once again, but no, we actually got vital noises. Very handy. Let's take a look at our characters here, see who would benefit the most from them. That would, hands down, be Cielo. Cielo, I'm giving you a lot of TLC here. Very good. Yeah, now, I know a lot of people are down on Cielo, and I'll admit, part of it is purely just personal preference. If I wanted the most effective party, I probably would be using Argilla over him, but I like Cielo. And honestly, since Surf is so much better at magic attacking, and Gale is so much better at physical attacking, Argilla would almost certainly be forced onto a supporting role anyway, so may as well do that for the character that's slightly more dodgy than her. And I honestly really like Cielo's lack of an elemental weakness. I feel it gives him a bit of flexibility when ailments are not a factor. Alright, we've come out over on this side. I'm gonna head this way. Again, I kind of forget the layout. I feel so embarrassed when I get that kind of mistake going, but hey, it happens. We definitely want to take this ammo node here. And we get a charm shot. It'll be stronger ammunition. Let's see. What's Surf running here? He's got the neutron shot. Yeah, we'll put the charm shot on him. Slightly better odds of killing an Omaikane if he happens to proc a crit. Yeah, to kill Omaikanes, you either need the strongest bullet in the game plus a taunt, if you're fighting the ones in these post-game areas, or rather side areas, I should say. This game doesn't really have a post-game, so to speak. Or you just need to get a lucky crit. But yeah, strongest ammo and a taunt from Surf, or rather, load the strongest ammo on Surf and then taunt the Omaikane. That'll definitely kill it in one shot. You just kind of have to hope Surf doesn't miss, and with Debilitate in play, there's a very real possibility of that. Hey, another new enemy here. Let's take a look at these ones also. Magic Repel, I do not care about that, because Megiddo just gets right past that. These are Kumbandas, I believe. So let's just use the Spyglass. Oh, Kushinada now. Let's see. Weak to Elec and Death, not things that we have. I mean, I guess we have the Al-Azif, but we can just guarantee kill with this. And then a Key Blast. Now that we're in a better situation for it, I actually would like it if an Arahabaki came in here. And this next turn we can just auto-battle them to death. Kushinada doesn't even stick around. Yeah, enemies, when they're low on HP, they can just sometimes run away like that. There isn't any consistency to it either. Alrighty. Climbing down this ladder. Let's see here. Don't want to go back that way. Or maybe we do want to go back that way, never mind. I make a fool of myself just to keep these things entertaining, believe me. Okay, heading into this door. Alright, we've actually reached the part that I want to be at. Now we got a small terminal here, but I'm just going to pass by that because it's going to be irrelevant. Now, here we are at what is hands down the hardest water pump maze in the game. We want to take this one really slowly here. I took very specific instructions to get through this one. Alright, so what we want to do is we want to take this one right in front of us, go south. It'll take us quite a bit of a ways. And we're right at the ladder. Oof, man, that one was tough. Yeah. I think they realized after putting that one in the Samsara Tunnels and Anahata that these are absolutely awful and everybody hates them. So they decided to go easy on you with that one, which I'm very appreciative for. There's another small terminal over there, but again, we're just going to blow past that one. Now, let's, Hey, here they are, the Arahabakis. Now, like I said, you want to use Cocytus on them. And there we go, that is why. Very high chance of freezing them, nullifies their physical resistance, and we can just blast them to death with physical attacks. Because once they are frozen, they take huge damage from them. Now, another thing about the Arahabakis is that they give excellent EXP, excellent money, and they have a chance of dropping vital noises. Sadly, we did not get that lucky there, but it is something that can happen, and if you want to farm vital noises, they are the ones to fight for them. Alright. Yeah, I think I'm on the wrong side here. We actually want to go the other way. Now, we're going to come across a bunch of walls and such along the way, but this video's been running long, so I'm actually just going to get us to where we want to be, and at the, after we do the main thing for the next video, we'll do a loop around to pick up all the treasure that's available for us. Also got into another Arahabaki encounter there, but sadly, still. Just as I was about to say I did not get a vital noise, I actually got into a third Arahabaki encounter, and we did get one there. We'll use this one on Gale. Okay, and I'm going the wrong way again, as always. But, for the Arahabakis, if you aren't able to freeze them and kill them with physical attacks, and there is a possibility of that happening, you want Resist Fizz, and you definitely want Null Death on someone. They love to spam Gate of Hell, and they're looking to either blow you down with physical damage or proc that stone and just destroy you that way. Nasty stuff to deal with, let me tell you. And I think I just totally wasted my time. Oh, nope, there's an ammo node. Not what I wanted, but oh well. Hey, Logic Cell. We do definitely need the money. Yeah, I'm actually trying to get to where we need to be, but I'm getting a little lost. I would say I'd consult a map, but unfortunately there is not exactly great map data for this game. On GameFAQs, the only thing that actually has maps are Coordinate 136 has maps, or a map for the Portrait Maze, and somebody made a map of Ajna. Sadly, the guides of the area are not exactly descriptive with their directions, so consulting them doesn't help much either. Okay. No, I'm getting close to where we want to be. Alright, Cielo actually mastered the Six Realms mantra, so he's actually, he's also got Death Spirit mastered, so he's set to learn Medea Rahan next. Gale also mastered his mantra. He is, now has access to Insatiable, Mind Scream, and Atma bonus. Mind Scream, I think it's in the same damage bracket as Ki Blast, but it has a chance of inflicting panic. I will be sticking with Ki Blast, though, just because I like that one better. It's also cheaper on the HP. So, yeah, that's just what we're going to be going with. Man, I am getting into so many encounters here. And yes, the chaff encounters are still in the encounter pool, so we do still want an Astoma Spray, just so that actually fighting anything is slightly worth our while. Okay, here we are. This is where I wanted to be. Like I said, I'll go back for the treasure after we're done here. But for right now, we actually want to be at this... Haha, every time. But we want to be at this large Karma Terminal. Now, this is right outside the boss fight, and it also lets us jump back to the beginning, so I can actually go and sell off all the cells we've collected so far, which is good, because we're going to want some mantras set before we go into this fight, because we're going to get a lot of AP for it. But all that is going to wait for the next video, because this recording has been going on for almost an hour and a half now. This went way longer than I expected. Alright, so we'll save here, and when we come back, we will have quite the boss lined up for us, so I hope to see you again for that, as always. But until then, goodbye.